Here we are looking at electrical wiring and some of the challenges where we can have the potential of chafing. Again, a number of examples where we can have inadequate clearance to structure. You see, the wiring is just sitting on top of the frame there, inside the belly of the aeroplane. And what happens, of course, is you get vibration, you get differential rates of vibration. This metal vibrates at a different frequency than the wire, and it wears, and it shorts out. And at a certain point, that will become a fire. When we drill, we have swarf, and the metal that comes off from the drilling is razor sharp. And if it goes in the wiring, it can cause the wiring to be cut, and it can short out the wiring. And it was believed that that swarf is actually the cause of TWA 800 and 238 people losing their life. And a lot of it is down to the working practices, the behaviour of people on aeroplanes and how they work on aeroplanes. And when you see people working in the area of electrical wiring and they're drilling and they haven't protected the wiring, they're endangering the future people that fly on that aeroplane. And we need to understand this. And again, it's competency. We talk about competency, but do you realise that what you're doing is potentially going to damage the wiring? Oh, it'll be okay, I'll clean it when I finish. You can't. You can't clean it. The swarf, it's like insects. It disappears into the wiring. It burrows into the wiring, literally like an insect. And this message has to be shared with the people working on aeroplanes. Nobody deliberately does something that is going to harm other people. Imagine that you could go back in time to the guy who was working on TWA aircraft. And he's there busy drilling away, not paying attention, and all his swarfs going on the wiring, and say, do you realise? Not now, not this month, not this year, but in 12 years' time, what you've just done is going to kill 238 people. This is the reality. We create standalone general visual inspection, and we spoke about this guy. We said the standalone general visual inspection generates a separate work card. It cannot be combined with the zonal inspection, and it came about following the enhanced zonal analysis, the EZAP procedure that we introduced in the amendment to MSG that came out in 2005. So, enhanced zonal analysis procedure, another look at the wiring, the development of additional inspections, the standalone general visual inspection as a separate task to the general zonal inspection. And this is the difference between a standalone and a conventional GVI. The standalone must be accomplished as a standalone inspection, ideally, from a human factors point of view, by a separate person, even on a separate day. Over the years, there's been a number of in-flight smoke and fire events where contaminants ignited by electrical faults allowed the fire to be sustained and spread. The FAA and NTSB have conducted aircraft inspections and found wiring contaminated with dust, dirt, metal shavings, lavatory wastewater, coffee, soft drinks, and so on and so on and so on. Sometimes wire bundles and surrounding areas have been found to be completely covered with dust. And where does the dust come from? Well, the dust comes, for example, when I walk on the carpet. I'm wearing it, and you don't notice it, but little tiny bits. When you shape yourself, little bits of clothing. And in actual fact, we liberate, every year, we liberate about 2.5 to 3 kilos of skin. Every time you scratch, a bit of you falls off. And if the sun's shining through the window, you can see it all floating around. Well, all this guy goes around and around the aeroplane and gathers, and when you see this dust, that's what it is. It's a mixture: clothes, carpet, hair and skin. And it's inflammable. It can burn. And it can sustain a fire. And so we have to make sure that we remove this as well. And this also is part of the enhanced zonal analysis procedure, that there are tasks to remove the dust and debris on the aircraft. And you can see, it's not a very good picture there, but you can see that's all dust. It's absolutely covered in dust. You can't see it very well. You have to look at the laptop picture to see it. But it's absolutely covered. And the danger is, of course, if there is any electrical short, now we've got some fuel for the fire. And it's happened. It's happened. There was a fire on board a Saudi TriStar many years ago, and the aeroplane actually got on the ground safely, but it propagated through the dust and debris.